Hello and welcome to today's story. In this story, we will learn some new words and practice our listening skills. The story is called The Lost Dog. Let's get started. Part 1. The Lost Dog. Once upon a time, in a small town, there was a little dog named Max. Max was a small, brown dog with a white patch on his chest. Max was very friendly and loved to run and play outside. Every day he would run in the park and chase the butterflies, bark at the birds, and play with other dogs. One sunny afternoon, Max was playing in the park. He ran and ran, jumping over rocks and running through the tall grass. He was having so much fun that he didn't notice how far he had gone. Max ran past the trees and down the little path that led to the park's entrance. He ran and ran until suddenly he stopped. Max looked around, but he didn't recognize where he was. Max was lost. He couldn't see the park anymore. He couldn't see his house. Max felt scared. Where was he? Part 2. The Search. Max started to walk around, hoping to find something familiar. He saw some flowers, but they weren't the flowers near his house. He heard the sound of water, but there was no river near his home. Max felt more and more scared. He wanted to go home. He tried to bark for help. Woof, woof. He barked loudly, but no one came. He looked around, but the park was empty. Max walked for a little while longer, but everything was strange. Just when Max was starting to feel very sad, he saw a lady walking down the path. She was holding a shopping bag, and she had a big smile on her face. Max ran to her, hoping she would help him. "Woman, hi doggy, are you lost?" Max barked again, his tail wagging. The woman knelt down and said, "Don't worry, little dog. I will help you find your way home." She reached out to pet him gently. Max felt better, but he still didn't know how to get home. Part 3. Help. The woman looked at Max carefully. "You look like a nice dog," she said. "I will help you." She stood up and started walking. Max followed her, wagging his tail. The woman talked to Max as they walked. "Woman, where's your house, doggy?" Max didn't know the way, but he tried to help. He looked around and then pointed his nose to the left. Maybe his home was that way. The woman smiled and said, "All right, let's go that way." They walked for a while, but they didn't see Max's house. Instead, they saw a big tree, some more benches, and some people walking their own dogs. Max barked happily when he saw the dogs, but they didn't stop. The woman kept walking, looking around for Max's house. Part 4. A little extra help. After walking for a while, the woman stopped and looked at Max. She thought for a moment. "Woman, maybe we should ask someone else for help. Do you want to ask them, Max?" Max looked up at her and barked. Woof. The woman smiled and said, "Okay, let's talk to that man over there." They walked to a man who was sitting on a bench reading a book. Woman said, "Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a dog walking around here? His name is Max. He is lost." The man looked up and smiled. "Male, yes, I saw a little dog running earlier. He was very fast, running towards the big hill." Woman, "Thank you. Come on, Max." Max wagged his tail and barked, "Woof, woof." They walked towards the hill, and Max was starting to feel better. Maybe he was close to home. Part 5. Getting to know the family. After a few more minutes of walking, Max started to recognize some things. He saw a big tree he liked to run under and a park bench where he had sat with his owner before. Max barked happily and ran ahead. The woman followed Max and said, "It looks like we're getting close." Finally, after a long walk, they saw a small house in the distance. Max barked loudly, "Woof, woof," and ran toward the house. He was so happy to be close to home. The woman knocked on the door. A man opened the door, looking surprised. Male, "Hello, is this your dog?" Woman, "Yes, I found this dog in the park. His name is Max. He was lost." The man smiled and said, "Thank you so much. Max ran away this morning. I was very worried about him." The man knelt down and gave Max a big hug. Max wagged his tail, happy to be back home. The man said, "Thank you again for helping him. You are very kind." Max's family was very happy to see him. Max jumped up and down, feeling very loved. The woman waved goodbye and said, "Goodbye, Max. Stay safe." And that's the end of our story. Max learned an important lesson. Always stay close to home when you play outside. Great job listening. Keep practicing your English by listening to stories, watching videos, and speaking as much as you can. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one and leave a comment with the best part of the story.